What happened? Oh, hold on. I think I know what's going on here. There we go. Hey, how's it going, Bad Dude Court? Sorry for the lateness today, and I broke my stream set. I sent a wall of text to someone in a Discord, like not a negative one, but it was a wall of text. So I was writing that and forgot what time it was, and so on and so forth. So on and so forth. Hello, Bad Dude Court. Have I not seen you in a while? The name sounds very familiar, but I don't. Have we hung out in a while? Anyways, conflicts, my man. Well, I get it. Conflicts happen. I just appreciate you spending any time with me, to be honest. Any time at all. Yeah. So today, I don't know what we're doing today. Well, I do know what we're doing today, but I don't know where this is going to take us. Last week we started building a plugin. Ajit Bahura, hello, my friend. Good to see you. He's over at YouTube. Hey, listen, if you want to come hang out in the Twitch, that's where we're hanging out here. You can see the chat. There's a lot more chat going on. Unfortunately, due to the way that Twitch allows multi-streaming, I can't show the chat on screen. It could maybe take people away. So anyways, that's a weird rule. But anyways, I just dropped a link to my Twitch channel. So if you want to, I don't know if you're a Twitch person. If not, no worries. You're welcome to hang out anyways, but you'll probably get more out of the chat if you hang out on Twitch. But either one, just good to see you. I'm really sorry we didn't get to meet at WordCamp Canada this year. That sucked. But I'm going to WordCamp US. So if anyone's going to WordCamp US, come. I don't want to. That's a weird sound. Come and hang out, say hi. I'm not presenting or anything. I'm just hanging out. So anyhow, cool. Yeah, and so last week what we were doing was I'll give a bit of history here. I don't know if Paul's here. I just pinged him a little while ago. Should probably make this a bit more formal. Maybe have him on the stream, hang out with us. But we're building out something that basically allows us to try to build patterns out of Schema. So schema.org. So we were looking at, what are the schemas we're looking at here? Developers, we're looking at, I'm going to zoom this in so y'all can read this a little better. So this is basically the schema that we were looking at. And for things, specifically, what was the... docs, right? We're looking for what was it? It was job posting. Job posting. So we are looking at this, right? So that's kind of what we were working on. So where we got to the other day was we were in our schema plugin, schema builder. So we kind of did a bunch of farting around with things, and then we got into this. So this is sort of where we started. So, oh yeah, okay, dismiss, yeah, out here. So what we did was we're doing a few things here. Now this needs to be abstracted out. So this is just very, very raw right now. It's just very, very procedural spaghetti code that I used to write back in the day. Well, who am I kidding? I still write it. I still write code like this. The stuff that runs at the top runs before the stuff at the bottom. That's how I do it. So what we were doing was we were trying to, so we were pulling the schema, right? So I'm using a transient here to pull the schema from here. So basically, if we've got it cached, then it's going to retrieve the cache. If it doesn't have it cached, it's going to grab it, then it's going to cache it. So this is the response, doing a remote get. We're going to return that link, the link that I just shared, which is what share it. It's schema.org. It's right here. So if you, I'll share it if y'all are interested. Biggie to bang. But and then back to my codes. My codes is where I need to be. And then what we're doing is, if there's no error and we get a response code of 200, then we decode the body, and then we check for the blah, 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 and then we get the raw schema, which is basically everything that comes in under the graph. So we're not anything under here. Oh boy, come on now. Oh, it just takes a while because there's 2,800 million items. It pulls all that. Then we just set the transient, and then now we see if we have the raw schema. If we have a raw schema, then we start to process things. So I did a bit of work on this after the fact, just to kind of clean this up, because this is a bit hard to wrap your head around. Like, I'm trying to figure out, because if we look at some of these keys, you know what, it might just be easier if I drop a breakpoint in. So let's drop a breakpoint in here. No, where was I doing this? We'll just what? Oh, you're right. I was doing breakpoint stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna run my my debug here. I'm gonna just come back over the browser and just run this. This is okay. So that's. If we look at patterns, we've got a whole ton of patterns. So what I've done is I've created an array of patterns, right? So we look at an individual pattern. Let me back this up. So we've got an array of patterns here. These can be anything, right? So I have them alphabetically sorted at the moment. So let's look at, like, for example, article, right? So article. So the way that I built it out, so properties. So these can be. It's sort of hard to understand how these work, like the relationships. And I think I just haven't wrapped my head around it fully yet. But basically, so what I'm calling properties, where do I have raw schema in here somewhere? Raw schema. So if we look at, say, one of these classes, so, this is probably not the one we want. Here's one. So a tourist trip. So can be ID, range ID, properties, fine. Okay, so it's going to create that. Sorry, I'm trying to remember what I did here. Domain includes, right? So we're looking for these things. So these, your schema domain includes, which is where is that? I'm of course not seeing. There we go. So we have this domain includes, right? So I think the way that domain includes, so there's these two properties. One's called domain includes and one's called range includes. And what my understanding of it at this point is that the domain includes are the things that can be part of this item, and the range includes are things that it can be represented with. These are the types it can be represented with. It's still not really clear in my head. Now that I've said it out loud, it doesn't make a lot of sense. So let's look at the pattern that we're actually looking at here. So the properties of this pattern are okay, let's skip on to the next one here. API reference. I'm just gonna, okay, and about page. There's nothing in there. Accommodation. So the properties that it can have. Oh, throw new error. Welcome. Hello. So these are the properties that this schema can have. It can have an accommodation category, floor level, a year built, tour booking page, floor size, all that sort of stuff, right? But then it can also be used as a property of something else. So this can be a value of a different schema. That makes sense? I really wish Paul was here. He knows this stuff inside out and backwards. Maybe he's here and he's just being sneaky and not saying anything. So that's kind of how I have it figured out right now. So we have these things that are like what it can be made up with, and then what it can be used in. So that's basically what it is. So its properties and its value, it can be a value for this schema. There we go. Okay. So I'm just gonna stop this. And I'm going to refresh this. And that's and so where I ended up was I built all that out, and then now I'm doing some alphabet. I'm seeing about registering patterns, because the idea here was that we were going to use this to register some patterns. So I'm doing a few things. Well, let me show you what the end result here. So if I come into here, this is ridiculous, but if I look into, is it on categories? I've got a few patterns. I've got 500 patterns in here. right? And the way like it, and so it's just basically I'm just plunking a pattern in for each. So all I'm doing is giving it the name, and then I'm actually adding the type name inside here, and then in here somewhere, and then I'm adding this. So this is just rough. This is not what we want. So my idea here was that we would based on the properties, we would create blocks that would represent each one of those properties. That make sense? Oh, Kevin! What's this? Kevin, who's that? Ajit's here. Right? No. Yeah, Ajit. Hey, welcome. Thanks for hanging out. I got to change that overlay. I can't read it because there's always a white screen in front of it. Wait, am I saying that right? It's Ajit, right? It's one of those things that you meet these people like online. Like I've interacted with you like in GitHub, on Twitter, I'm sure, probably in a million other places, and you see a name, and then you just assume it's pronounced a certain way. I hate that because you meet these people and they feel like friends, like they feel like people that you've known, right, a long time. You're like, hey, what's up? And but you're scared to say their name in case you've made it up wrong. You know. Anyway, so if I'm pronouncing that wrong, please let me know, and I'll feel like an ass, but it'll strengthen our bonds. Anyways, okay, so let's see. What I'm gonna do here is I am going to here on time. Paul's here. Hey, Paul. How's it going? Paul's the man. Paul. Yeah, I was late today, Paul. So it's all good. We're all good. So anyways, Paul, I've gotten us to a point now where I'm starting to generate patterns. I'm just registering patterns based on some things. So we're going to try to figure some stuff out here. I've got 500 patterns being registered. I'm going to maybe just restrict that a little bit. And I'm going to say, so I'm going to just try this. I'm going to say I'm just going to do this. So if ID is equal to, I think it's going to be schema. I think it's going to look like this. Job posting. Yeah, I really enjoyed that last week. I don't know about y'all, but I don't know why I'm saying y'all like I'm from the southern states, which I love it. It just rolls off the tongue. It's fantastic. But I think I might extend my stream times. I can't today, unfortunately, because I think I have a meeting that I cannot continue. I'm in a 4 each. Oh, what have I done? If I'm in a 4 each, do I just do that? I can't remember. That's what I do. I think that's what I do, right? I guess I could wrap this whole thing inside of that, but is that what I want to do? Let's see. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I know. What? Yes, refresh it. Yeah, I want to. I don't know if I can because like I said, I have an internal meeting that's right up against it, and I need to probably save that file. That's the thing. Saving that file is good. So let's see. So if I go into patterns now, I should have patterns. I should have untagged categories. I should have a job posting pattern. All right, cool. All right, so that's my job posting pattern. So that does work. This is nice. I like this. Skip anything that is not a job posting. Let's spell that correctly. Okay, so now what we need to figure out though, so the pattern. So so I'm going to come in here. So if I get here, what is going on with this? Stand by once. That's totally the wrong button. I want to turn off. I have that set in here. I don't. Okay. I have what I have going on here is this. I have PHP CBF enable, and I'm trying to make it save on, like, I'm trying to run it on save, and sometimes it works and sometimes it just doesn't, and it just ends up, you see that little bar running across the top and it just runs forever. It's a giant pain in my buttocks. So just slows everything down. So I'm not gonna do that. Okay, so so now if I put this back in here, this should pause on job posting. It does. Okay, so the pattern looks like this. We've got properties and we've got value for. So I think we can pull the path. So what we can do is we can pull. See, this is where I was thinking about this, and this is where this is going to kind of fall down as far as building a pattern. Like, I think these can be pattern starting points because we don't just want to arbitrarily add something for each one of these, do we? Like, is that what we want to do here? You know what I'm saying? Because we may not want to have industry, right? And I don't really know what some of these things are. So anyways, so what I was thinking was basically we would get the properties, right? We're gonna do something like loop properties. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. To create the pattern. Okay, so I'm gonna do a for each. Love me those loops. Pattern. It's gonna be properties as property name, right? What we're gonna do is loop through each one of those, append this HTML, and then the HTML goes right in there. That's where it goes. So that's where it goes, right? Right? Anyone? Bueller? I don't know. Let's see. Okay, so, but then we're gonna have to look up the property for each thing. So, okay, so the idea here is gonna be get the property definition from the raw schema, right? Then let's do one here. Let's go. Okay, so I'm gonna take the first one and property name. So if I go to patterns, I should have a property name in there. So I'm gonna say this is property. Oh my god, property def equals raw raw schema property name, right? At this point, this is where types are going to become. I think we need to define some types. Anyway, so we're going to get the property def, right? And then we're going to say, I don't know, HTML equals, plus equals. I'm just doing this so I can add a breakpoint so I can see what property. Stop. I can see what property is doing here. Right. So I'm gonna run through reload. Oh. Schema employment unit. Interesting. Okay. Let's see. Maybe I'm just accessing that wrong. So we got raw schema. Oh no. Oh wait, no, it's not what I want. I want patterns. That's what I want. I want to pull it from patterns, not raw schema. Hey, Philip, is that gonna work?
Great, it's Philip.
This is Philip. I think I might have fixed it.
Oh great, it's
Philip.
Philip.
I didn't fix it. I gotta figure that out. All right, I don't know why that didn't work. Anyways, you're so good. We'll say it twice. Okay, so let's try this again. Philip's here. This property def is null. Pattern. Ugh, because it's patterns dope. You know, when you don't know your own, you don't even know what you're doing. So this, what? Patterns. Schema. Oh, wait. What's the thing I'm looking? Employment unit. Is employment unit in there? Now, what am I doing? Am I screwing around with the name? I think I might be. No, I'm just putting the ID in. I'm not doing anything to the ID. Raw schema as node. So why is the node not showing up in there? Weird, man. Schema employment unit. I am going to edit my breakpoint here. So this is going to be ID is going to be equal to schema employment unit. Okay, I'm going to just rerun this. So actually, oh, it's not there? What? Okay. Oh, you like that one? Yeah. Okay, so I think, okay, I'm just gonna, you know what I'm gonna do here? I'm gonna do this. Bunch of crap just fell off my desk. False. And then I'm gonna skip through to the next one. So is property def ever? Sorry, let me get this thing.
Oh, great. It's CR0 IBIT.
It's Corey. Hi, Corey. Huh. Okay. That's really
Great.
weird.
It's CR0 IBIT.
What? Pattern properties is property name. That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Something's afoot. The pattern that I'm looking at has got two things. It's got 37 items in the property, right? So pattern properties as property name, right? Oh, what? Property name should be right. So patterns and then patterns. Yeah, it's pretty bad. It pronounces the lup as Philip, which is hilarious to me. Did it do it twice for you? It did. CROY bot. Okay, I don't understand why this is happening. Now, okay. So I step into this. Property def is definitely false because property name, does it not exist in patterns? Employment. I don't think I can get that far down. No, I can't. Poop. Let's look in here. What is it that I'm looking for? It's copy value. I'm gonna drop it in here. So I'm just okay. So it's here though. Schema employment ID. Range includes. So what is excluding that? So raw schema as node ID. So there is an ID, right? Node ID schema employment unit. Add a breakpoint here, and I'm gonna edit the breakpoint. I'm gonna say, what am I checking for? I want to make sure that ID. See, ID is equal to, should be schema employment unit. I'll rerun this. Back over here. Okay, that stopped. And so the ID is employment unit. So has it been pushed to the patterns yet? So let's see. Probably down the bottom here. Let's look. What does employment unit have? Range. Range includes. Alright, that's working. So why is it not getting added? That's what I don't understand. Okay, wait a minute. So I went range includes, and this has got domain includes. So do I have domain includes for this node? Where's the node? It's got domain includes. It's got a single domain includes. If is property, that then. Okay, what the hell, man? Domain includes is class, so class ID, right? So I need to step it in here. I think there might be something up with my logic here. Oh, I need to add that breakpoint in there. What was the breakpoint I was using in here? I'm just gonna use this one. Oops. Add breakpoint. I think there just might be some weird logic that I think my code's bad, which I know is crazy. It's a crazy idea that my code could be horrible. So what if false doesn't equal, well, it's not getting in there. Oh, really? To rerun that. It's still not getting in there. So domain includes is coming in as false? What? Am I doing this wrong? Should be right. Let's rerun this. There it is. Right? Is this running? Okay. You know what? This is ridiculous. Whoa. Line 171. What have I done? Oh, I think it's that. Yeah, that's the error. Okay. Writing too much JavaScript lately. Okay, it's just not getting in there. I don't understand that. But why is this? Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so here we go. So domain includes is not equal to false, so that is correct, right? Yeah. Okay. So if I jump on to the next one, okay. So that should not be an array, so I should be able to jump into here now. Whoa! No, it's not an array. I'm sorry. That's right. So that's right. So this is array key. If it doesn't exist, which doesn't seem to exist, patterns domain includes. So I need to be adding, so at this point patterns should have it in there. Domain includes ID, right? Domain includes ID. So this, oh wait. I think this is wrong. I think I'm overwriting something here. So I need class ID in there. Is this, or is this pushing it? Does this class exist in list of patterns? If not, add it. So then this looks like it's adding it to job posting, which I don't think is what I want. And then it's supposed to be adding properties. Okay. I'm going to just comment that out for now. Actually, I'm gonna do this. Oh Lord, it's not what I wanted to have happen. Where was I here? Where am I? I'm in here. I want to do this. Oh my god, I keep doing that. So okay, it's not. Where is the breakpoint right now? It's here. Okay, so this is what I want. So I need to do that. Oh no. What the hell's the hell? Is that it? No, is that it? That's what I wanted. Okay, I'm just gonna comment that out for now. And I think what I need to do is do class ID, right? So class ID is, or where's class ID? Where's that come from? Domain includes this class. I don't think this is creating a top level thing. I think I'm looping this wrong. Right? Oh, so I think I'm doing this wrong. Because process your property. So the prop. So what I'm doing is I'm grabbing the property. Oh, my mind's melting right now. I think I may be doing this wrong, because okay, so this is either if it's got this and it's got this, right? So the ID. Let me just write out the logic here in my brain. So the logic, I think what needs to happen is. Maybe I need to look it up from a different place. Maybe that's what I need to do. I think I might need to look it up. So from patterns, I don't think it's patterns. I think it's like, I think we probably want to get access to this, right? But what is it? It doesn't tell me anything about it. So, scheme organization. Martoni Sato, welcome to the stream. So I don't know what employment unit indicates. A department unit in a facility where the employee reports or which the job is to be performed. So it's part of organization. Blah. But it doesn't really tell me anything about this, right? So it can be used inside a job posting, and it can be represented by an organization. So this is where it falls down. Paul, I need some insight on this, because what I can do is I can just put a whole bunch of things in there, but I don't know what we can like. I can do something like this. Like I can take a paragraph block. Right, and I can plunk it in there, and I can put the property name as the schema prop, right? But I will need to do that slightly differently. Something like this, right? And the description is going to be basically schema prop along those lines, and then so I can put property name in here again too. Right, we can do something like this inside the p tag. We can do that for each one, which is a little silly. But we're gonna, and then I'm gonna take the HTML and I'm gonna drop it inside the group tag, which is gonna end basically after. We're gonna do that. Right? So this should give me a whole bunch of paragraph tags, which I don't know necessarily that's what we want. We go into patterns, we can go on categorized patterns, we can do job posting. So you see we've got, that didn't work. Okay, why didn't that work? Let's look. What's my error there? Oh, I think I need to do that. Yeah, I had a little broken end there. So let's reload this. Patterns. So go to uncategorized patterns. We'll go posting, plunk it in there. What's the error that I'm still getting? So the block group. Okay, how did I break this? I have 2 groups in here. So, oh, there's a div in there. I think that's what I screwed up. Right, this div, yeah. Okay, so the paragraphs, it's got to go after the paragraph. So I'm going to just make that not broken anymore. I'm going to take HTML. I'm going to plunk HTML in right where this paragraph basically starts, right? Let me make sure that that works before I start screwing with this. That works. So then we'll plunk HTML in. I hope that should just right there. I should be able to just do this, right? Because that's doing the thing at the beginning and the thing at the end, and then we're gonna just refresh this. Load. Can you guys see that? Okay. And zoom in a little bit. Okay, patterns, uncategorized, and I have it down here. Boop. There we go. So now each one of these things is a paragraph tag. Which, I mean, it's not that great. It's not that helpful. But, like, but if we look at this now, we should have this. So we've got schema prop is employment unit. And then this is just like whatever. So this would be a Boolean, I guess, right? Which is, that's the thing. Like, I think we need to figure out the best way to determine what this block is. Because what blocks do we have access to? We have, like, you know, we have basically, what are we going to use here, right? Oh, hey, Paul. Paul's here. I'm not sure what we're going to use. It's going to be mostly paragraph blocks. So at what point do we sort of, like, do we build these blocks out dynamically? Can we build these patterns out dynamically, or do we build because every schema thing isn't going to necessarily use every property that it needs, right? Like, probably going to have things like title, right? That's for sure. But maybe the title is going to be like a header, or it could be a header anyways. Like, you could easily switch this, like convert that to a heading, which would make a lot more sense. When we then work out what each object primitive. Yeah, so, okay, so let's look at figuring that out. So we need to drill that down. So let's look at, let's say, employment unit. So employment unit is basically represented by an organization, right? So if we find that, we need to find like the upper level. Let's just, it's always going to be like that. Only 145 of them to go. there we go. So it's a subclass of thing. Oh, that's the other part. So I was looking at this. So if we look at, say, job posting, right? And we compare the properties from job posting, so we get all of these properties listed. But it also inherits a ton of properties from thing, right? So thing is its own entity. So we need to basically maybe, like, I don't... So let's look. If we get into here, right? I'm gonna rerun this. I realize we're absolutely going in circles at the moment, but I want to demonstrate this. Not that. Let's disable that. Let's disable that. I want to get not in there. Come on, sorry. Okay, so we look at the job posting. So the properties, so the pattern that we're using has 37 properties, right? So if we compare those against what we're seeing in here, we should sort of get them all, right? We got base, what's this? Employment unit, job immediate start, bad job benefits, responsibility types, all that stuff is in there somewhere. Responsibilities, I'm sorry, and then employment type up here, so on and so forth. So there's 37 of these things. So there's 37. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. There's 34 in here. I probably miscounted by 3. But it's also, then it also gets these things, right? Which I don't, so there's a description. So do we need to then figure out what this thing inherits from and add all those properties as well? Because we've got things like, so for example, let's look at base salary. So base salary. So the expected type of this is going to be monetary amount or number or price specification. So if we find base salary in here, oops, there we go. So it's part of one of these two things, but it's supposed to be one of these three things. So that's what we need to figure out. So I think what we need to do is we get the property. We get the property of what it is, right? And then we look for that property inside of the raw schema and pull in the range includes. Let's try that. Okay, so in here, so this is sort of working, but not really what I want. Okay, so we're gonna stop this. So this is, I'm gonna disable that, and we're gonna disable this. So basically, we want the property name. And then we're gonna have to do, so in the what is it, the raw schema, it's an array. So how so WP list pluck. WP list pluck. I think this might be what we're looking for. Let's try it. This is gonna be interesting. We're gonna go thing, and I'm gonna say WP list pluck, and we want, what do we want? Input field, input list is going to be raw schema. And the field is going to be index key. Let's see. Let's work here. So now as an example. So list pluck foods. Foods is the array and name. So it's going to be list pluck. So this is going to give me an array. Yes, it will. Maybe not. What's the third parameter do? Field from the object to use as keys for the new array. Oh, I don't know. Property name, I guess. And then maybe we can go range includes. Is that what it is? Let's see. Schema domain range includes. I don't know. Let's go like this. Schema, I don't know what this is gonna do. Schema, it's range includes, right? Range includes. I have no idea if this is gonna do what I want it to do, but I'm gonna plunk it there. I'm gonna refresh this. I'm gonna come over here. Yeah, I want to reload the site, man. That's what I want to do. Thing. Where's thing? Thing is an array of 285. Okay. I think I'm doing that right. So list pluck. Deal from the object to place it instead of entire object. I don't think this is what I want. That sucks. Foods. Oh, yeah. And the property name, I guess it's going to be. Oh, I get it. Okay, that's not what I want. I guess I'm gonna have to loop it. There's got to be a better way of doing this. But for the for what I can do at this point is I can say for each. I'm gonna have to loop this again. This is so bad. We're gonna say so for each raw schema as schema. What we're gonna do, I'm gonna say if it's gonna be if I guess it's gonna be schema. How do I access it up here? It was like ID, right? Weird thing like this. Where is it? Schema ID, like that. Schema ID is property name. So that matches that. Maybe this is a bit more performant. I don't know. Do another continue in here, and then otherwise we're gonna just. Oh, you know what? No, I'm gonna do it this way. Sorry, I'm going to loop through it. I think this is a better way of doing it. I'm gonna check. So if it matches, we're gonna do something, and then at the end of it, we're gonna break out of the loop. Because once we found it, we don't care. This is like ON because there's potential for us to have to loop through the entire thing. But at this point, we should have, we'll be able to get the range includes for this, right? Range includes. Range is going to be schema, and it should be like range includes, right? It'll be, okay. Oh. Oh boy, what's in here? Wait, mine is some kind of infinite loop. Uh-oh. Yeah, done. Okay, what have I done here? Let's do that. Let's do that. This. Oh boy. Employment unit. Undefined property ST class employment unit. What? 194. Where's that? Oh, you know what? I'm not gonna register anything right now. I'm gonna do this. this is all stuff that I just need to be not doing anything with at the moment. I think it's going to cause problems here. Okay, let's try this again. That's running real slow. Not because of my code, it probably is. Yeah, that's probably because of my slow ass code. Okay, I'm gonna take that break out of there and just see. Does this? That's faster. Okay, cool. Ba-bum. Ba-da-ba. Okay, so in here, so let's see. Test schema is STD class. It's got range include. It's got an STD class of organization. What is this thing? So organization. So then I need to figure out. Then I need to look up organization and figure out what that is. This is gonna be a lot of lookups. A lot of lookups. I feel like what I should do here is, instead of doing this, I think I want to rebuild my because I have these patterns. I think every pattern should be represented here, because it's going to be a lot faster to look that up, right? Because we can say, okay, well, it's organization, so, or whatever, it's class. We can look in class. Class has got one property. Okay, cool. Or it's got whatever claim. It's got 3 properties. Or it can be, so like, you know, I'm using a claim. Well, claim can be a value I've interpreted as claim, so I have to find that and like get through all of that stuff. And then I can cache that. Does that make sense? Because eventually what we have to do is we have to get it down to one of its, like we have to traverse the tree, so it goes like, okay, so base salary. Well, base salary can be either a price specification, a schema, or a number. So we have to know what it can be represented as, and then if that thing's going to be what it is, like we basically have to get down to the point where we have one of these raw numbers, I think. Right? Does that make sense? So like if I look at, like, let's say monetary amount, it's, so monetary amount can be currency, which is text, max value number, so valid front. So it's got all these properties now, right? So we're just looping. And so we could build patterns out potentially that that represent each one of these items. You know what I mean? And then, yeah. I feel like we're going in circles again. So we have to keep looping through until we get what it is. And then, but the question becomes then, okay, here's a question for you there, Paul. So we have a base salary, right? That's our schema. And it can be represented by a price specification, a monetary amount, or just a number. How do we define that? Like how does our pattern know which one of those it should be? Or is that basically going to be, or do we just do a pattern for each one of these, right? Or do we do a pattern that's a base salary that is a price specification, a base salary that is a monetary amount, and a base salary that is just a number? And then do we do that for each one, right? Like, you know, so this is, audience is going to be represented by an audience. So we have to find out what the audience schema is, right? Know what I'm saying? So the question is now, should I rebuild my giant array? I think maybe I should, because then I could look up classes, because it looks like there's a couple of different types. There's a type of RDF property, which is what this is, and then we have this audience. Now this is most likely going to be, oh, sorry. This is most likely, that's not what I wanted. Where'd that go? This is most likely going to be of the type class. Right, so, because I think anything with an uppercase seems to be class. So look, so resume action is a class. So theme audience, that is a property. But we want the uppercase audience, which I'm sure it's in here somewhere. There it is. So it's our RDSFS class. So maybe what we need to do is we need to have each one of those. We can put, if something's a class or a property, we can list that. Just make it easier to access. Okay. So I think I'm just going to return this for now because I don't think we want that. Oh, I got to stop in 15 minutes. That sucks. So basically, I'm wondering if we just need to not do this. I wonder if I need to just hide all this for now. Is that going to break? Or, yeah, and okay. So then we'll have that, and then we'll have type, right? It's going to be node, and it should be, what's at type, right? So we have node at type, right? And so what we can do is we can start an array, oops, right? We have our patterns, and in here we can have types, we can have classes. Let's do this properly. It's not an object, right? We'll have an array of classes, we'll have an array of types, right? And there might be, maybe there's like, right? So we can do that, right? I guess the question is there more than one? How many types are there? Like, is RDSF class, right? So there's type, there's a billion types here. Class, there's property. Type is media speciality. Never heard of that. Property. Item availability. Of course, it's exceptionally more complicated than it needs to be. Right, property class. Schema wearable size system enumeration. I don't know, man. It's getting more and more complicated as we go. Okay, so maybe all we have to do is just plunk in each type into one of the classes, right? Or do we care? Maybe we don't care. Maybe we just take the ID and maybe we just jam it in at the top level and put all the information in it, right? So we can do something, because this would be easier to traverse. So if we just had a bunch of patterns, right? Or I don't know if patterns is the right word here, but like, so we have our ID, so we insert what else could we possibly need out of that? We're gonna need domain includes, range includes, right? All right, so let's just go patterns, OID equals node. Is that gonna? I don't know if that's gonna work. Why is this yelling? Oh, I don't need spaces. Is that the thing? Oh, I need a semicolon. That'll do it every time. And I think I do need spaces in there for the WordPress standards. All right, so now we come down to basically here, and I rerun this. This is probably gonna do weird shit, but let's see. Okay, so patterns, 285 patterns. So we got this. It's a class, and here we can get everything that we need out of it. Okay, I think that might be a slightly better way of doing it, right? So now we have everything. So now in our lookup, what we can say is we can jump down here. So we're not gonna need to return anymore, right? Because why do we need to rebuild? Why do we? What? 175 pattern. Oh, that doesn't exist, right? Pattern. Patterns is ID pattern. Okay, that's what I want. So this is going to be, oh yeah, I got it. So So it's not going to be range includes. It's going to be, what is it? Domain includes, right? It's going to be like this. We're going to basically need to grab that. So we're going to say pattern, boom, as, I don't think that's going to work again, but we'll see. We'll just go ahead and see. All right, and then we'll drop a little breakpoint in there. Boop, boop. Oh, 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 oh. Did it break? Am I getting errors? Oh, I'm getting errors. So what's pattern? Pattern looks like std class. So, okay. Right. We need to get the patterns. Oh, see, this is where. Oh. Okay, so what's happening now is because I don't have any idea what patterns belong to, or sorry, what properties belong to this schema job posting, and that's what I was doing up here. That's what I was doing up here. So maybe what we need to do is combine that stuff, right? So what we want to do is I'm going to push the whole node to it, right? So then we have access to the whole node. And then let's put, okay, all right, I think this is going to be helpful. So this is very complicated, but once we figure out this data part, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to figure out, is this stuff in here? Is this stuff in here? And then if it's in there, if we have domain includes, right? So these are the domain includes are the types, right? So I'm going to just put this back, right? What we want to do is we're going to processing a property, right? And then basically going to put all this back, right? Okay, so if domain includes for each. So what I'm going to do then is I want to class, I think patterns. It's going to be I think I need to do this. I need to go node, right? I'm gonna push the node on to an array. So then this is what I want to have to do there, right? So then this is going to not be that. It's going to be no, I think that is what I want. Because that's going to look for whatever that is. Okay, let's just see what this does. Let's just see what this does. Let's see. What I'm hoping is going to happen here. Uh-oh. Quiet in chat. Have I lost everyone? Is everyone bored? Basically, what I want to have happen is, okay, I don't know what's going on here, but this is being really janky. So what I want to do is I want to end up, so we have basically the pattern has got this, everything in it, and then it's also got it also has all its properties in it. And the only way that you can get its properties, oh, that's why it's not working. Array push. Okay, 133, what am I doing? 133, patterns domain includes. Okay, so this is, okay, so what this is going to do, it's going to, when it gets to the ID, it's going to push that on to the ID, right? And it's going to give me nodes. So I'm just going to basically, I'm going to just turn all this off for now and just walk this through logically. And then I have to jump off, unfortunately, because I got a call in like 9 minutes. So this K-sort expecting what? Where's my K-sort? What? The deuce. Oh, what am I doing here? Is that just telling me that it's empty? is going on here. If false, else. I think I need to. Okay, that's white space errors. We go. Oh my god. Okay. Fuck. Care about that. And oh, I think I also have to turn all this off. This is crazy, the amount of stuff I have to turn off here. Okay, my data is completely screwed up and wrong. So let's make sure this is working. It's working. All right. So what I'm wanting to do is I want to basically. Okay. So I'm gonna create a. I'm gonna put the node in the array. Okay, and it's gonna be basically index by name. Okay, so that's what that's going to do. And this is going to add the node. So if I get down to basically, I don't know, here, and I do this, what I should have is my patterns should look like this. It's a citation, it's got the node, it's got everything in it. Now, what I have to do though is, like, so this citation can be part of, okay, that's really helpful. Super helpful that that's doing that. So drug, let's see, node. It's probably not going to tell me. Okay, I can't get property. It's so dumb. Anyways, it's going to have a list of all its properties in there. So what I want to do is have it so as I'm scanning through, it says, oh, I'm a property of this. So I'm going to go and insert that into the properties array of that particular item in my patterns, because then we know this. Okay. Then we say, okay, I want to do a job posting. I'm going to go get its properties. Then I can look up its properties from this giant list. That's what I want to do. Okay. So let's start putting this code back in. So if that is thing, then we're going to do this, right? That should be fine. Okay. So we're processing a property. Okay. And then I'm going to bring this back because it can be an array of, it can be a single class or it can be an array. So this is where I'm going to go. I'm going to remove that breakpoint, right? And I remove this breakpoint. So if I put one here and I refresh this, now I come in here. Okay, so we've got domain includes is a class, right? So this is a creative work. This is a property that can be part of whatever ID is, node, whatever citation is, right? Right? Yeah, I think that's right. Okay, so if it's an array, which is not, it's going to jump into here. And then I want to start doing this stuff. Right? Boom. It's an if is array else. Okay. Let me just restart this. Okay, so this is now, it's not going to be an array, so it's going to jump into here. Okay, what is domain includes ID? Let's look. Domain includes ID is creative work. So if it doesn't exist inside there, we're going to add it, right? Okay, so if it doesn't exist inside patterns, right, then it's going to be, we're going to add it, and then we're going to also set the node. We're going to run into some order of operation errors here, I think, because we just want it to be an array, but if this has not been set yet, I think what we should do is add these things as well. So then we're going to go like this, right? So this is going to give us the node, it's going to give us an empty properties array, and it's going to give us that, right? So then we could say, okay, so this is set up. So now in here, if this doesn't exist, we're going to do the same thing, except we're just going to set this to null for now, right? And then in here, I guess we're gonna have to check if this is set first. They're gonna have to be like is. We're gonna have to do this. We're gonna have to do this exact thing up here. All right, we're gonna go if this doesn't exist, then we're going to put it in, right? But if it does, because we say we got the citation first and then came back, and it created job posting, then all we want to do is we want to we're gonna want to take this and we're gonna go. It's gonna be array push, right? And we're gonna do that, right? That's what we're gonna do, I think. So if it doesn't exist, then we're gonna. Oh no. It's gonna be node ID. I gotta go. So we're gonna push this array. Maybe. Maybe do array merge. No. Can you do array push with named array? Oh wait, no. We'll do this. That's what we'll do. That's how you do it. I'm a dope. I think we'll just do this. Node is equal to, let's say node, right? Yeah. So I don't think I can do that. So we're just gonna. So this means it does exist. So all we're gonna do here is we're just gonna take this and we're gonna set node to node, right? Because it's already been generated down here. It says null, so that should fix that. Okay, and so we can get rid of this, and then we're going to basically, what am I gonna do here? We're gonna do the same thing. We're just gonna push the patterns because the properties. It's gonna be an array. We're gonna put that in there. That's what we're gonna do. Okay, let's rerun this. Now we should get down to this point at some point. Okay, so I'm gonna skip by that. Just disable that for now. And I'm just gonna skip down to for each pattern. So in my patterns, citation, it's got properties. So creative work has got properties in it now, which is awesome. So it's got, these are all the properties that can be part of it. Okay, we're getting there. So now it means that if I look up creative work, if something is a creative work, like a citation, for example, its range includes, which we haven't done those yet. It can be, okay, I guess that it could be a medical risk score. I don't know, whatever. But if any of it gets added, now we can come back here. I'm gonna have to probably fix this up a little bit. Oh, I haven't done this part yet. Okay. So anyways, I have to drop. This sucks. Yes, my head will explode, but I think we are where we need to be. Once we get all the information in this big, huge, gigantic array, we can cache this, and then we can access it as we need to access it to traverse through what we need to build out. So I'm gonna stop it now because I gotta go to a meeting. Oh, Kevin, lights out, Kev. You're hilarious. I gotta go to a meeting, but unfortunately, I wish I could run longer here. Yeah, but anyways, it's been great hanging out with everyone, and I hope I'll see you next week when we're gonna pick this up, and we're much closer. I think we're in a much better place. So I swear to God, once we get this data set figured out, we're gonna be way better, because then we can start putting in all the pieces and start putting together all the things. It's getting there. This is a big project. I mean, if we don't do the data right now, we're gonna be coming back later and trying to fix it all up. All right. Well, thanks everyone. It is so hard to say goodbye to yesterday.
Great, it's KevXB.
There he is. Just gets here and I'm leaving. All right, Kev. Well, thanks for showing up. Kevin! And I'll talk to you all
Great,
next week.
it's KevXB.
Oh, there he is. All right. See you later. Bye.